It is a fabulous Sunday today. It's gorgeous outside. The sun is shining. And while I won't go out right now because I really don't like the cold weather, like the super cold weather, it's going to be a high today of 63, I think they said. But right now, it's like 40 degrees. I don't like it. so, so right now, I'm in the house because I don't like it. Hey guys, up, here comes everybody. Wham! Everybody shows up all at once. Oh my goodness. I hope everybody is having an absolutely fabulous Sunday. I know I am. We have a lot to talk about today. My goodness. Let's see who's everybody. Let's give it a minute and see how many people show up. Sure. Audio on. Check. Yeah, you guys can hear me. I've got this new mic. It's got a red green. So now I know if it's on because I make sure it's on, it hits green. So that's how I know that people can hear me. Oh my God, you guys, there's a lot of, Thailand is here. I love it. Hi from Thailand. I love this. I stopped everything when I got this notice. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I know, cool, right? We get it from all over the place. Okay, so there's a lot to cover today. There's a lot happening everywhere. Tomorrow is going to be another really long video, and it's kind of a mishmash tomorrow because first of all, I got a lot of memes again, a lot of video memes. People are really talented, and they're able to make these memes, which I couldn't do in a million years. And I feel like I need to show them because they're just so good. We have a lot of talk about the houses on the Sandringham estate and where Andrew is going. And I think I know where Andrew is going because they've already put it online, I think, without realizing it. So I've got that tomorrow. Let's see, what else do we have tomorrow? Oh my goodness, there's just so much. I don't even know where to start. Okay, first of all, let me just say I'm very disappointed in the Daily Mail. Like I'm calling it the Daily Fail because Princess Anne, you guys know I cover the Real Working Royals, right? And all the fabulous work they're doing. And the idea behind doing all of that to Andrew, the idea was to get the focus back on the Working Royals, right? Let's get back to what we were doing. And here you have Princess Anne. She was in Edinburgh. She was, she's like patron of the Scottish rugby group or whatever. She's there with the Scottish rugby people. And the whole article was all about Andrew. They barely said anything about Anne. They put in a few pictures. But if I'm clicking on an article with a headline about Anne, I would like to read about Anne. I mean, it's like why can't you understand that we would like to have the attention back on the Working Royals? Like, what is the problem? You're just repeating yourselves at this point. Well, they did this to Andrew. We know what they did to Andrew. Well, and then they did this. Yes, we know that. Well, this is happening. Yes, we know that too. I had to dig through Twitter to get the information about what Anne was doing. And I actually ended up getting it from the royal family website. It's like, it's like, get it. My God. I mean, get your stuff together. The idea of this was so that we could focus on the Working Royals. Please don't take the information about the Working Royals and take the entire article and talk about Anne. I mean, talk about Andrew instead of Anne. The whole article was about that. And yes, tomorrow we're going to talk about Carl Lawson. I'll give you a little bit now. Carl Lawson is a photographer who at one point befriended Thomas Markle and was doing I think a YouTube channel with him, if I remember correctly. There was a polo match. Remember the polo match, you guys, where Meghan was making a fool out of herself and they were holding the thing over her head? You guys remember that? Carl Lawson took pictures at that polo match. And the only information or pictures you will see come off of, I'm so sorry. I have a frog in my throat. Come off of the video that was taken there. because Carl Lawson slapped copyrights on like 7 YouTubers who used his pictures. I mean, could you imagine the panic among those YouTubers? I was one of those ones that didn't use the pictures. And also, I put up in this video tomorrow examples of some of the pictures he took. His pictures were taken outside when Harry was going to get that Legends of Aviation award. The pictures taken by him outside, nobody used. The pictures taken where he caught Harry and Meghan out and about weren't used. So who believes that Carl Lawson just happened to find Harry and Meghan in a random neighborhood where they don't live, trick-or-treating with their kids? I mean, it's pretty obvious that they called him. I mean, they called him. So he took the trick-or-treating pictures. So in order to not get in trouble with trick-or-treating, you have to prove fair use. Here's what you get from fair use. If you're commenting or criticizing on the picture, if you show only small portions of the picture and not the full image, or if you're using it in news reporting, but if you use the whole picture and it's unmodified, you could get in trouble. So if you want to discuss a photo, you need to crop it or blur it or use the screenshot from an article rather than the raw photo. I mean, there's all kinds of things you have to do. As a result, I try not to use any of his stuff. This guy went around, he tried to take channels down. He tried to take YouTube channels down with this crap. It's ridiculous. So you're going to see some of that tomorrow also. Also, like I said, I think we figured out where Andrew is going to go. But I took a look at all the houses. You'll see I got pictures of the inside of some of these houses. My God, they're gorgeous. And to think that this is considered a step down for Andrew, it's amazing. We're also tomorrow talking about the difference between Meghan's products and the King's products, because she literally ripped off his stuff. Her packages are smaller. Her price is larger than what you get. And her stuff, all the money goes to her. Whereas if you buy from the King, it goes to charity. 99 likes. There's 345 in the chat. Like this live stream, you guys. Come on, hit the like button. Oh, Carol, she always wants me to spoil Finn. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Carol. She's a great moderator, you guys. She's fabulous. Yeah, Maggie, the inside of some of these houses is beautiful. There's the York Cottage. There is the park, the one where not park, the one where Philip retired. There's pictures of the park. I can't remember the title off the top of my head, where Diana was born and lived until she was 14. It was actually turned into a hotel. And then when COVID hit, it went down. And I don't think that they're going to refurbish it just for Andrew. So I'm going to say no to that one. And the other ones, believe it or not, did you guys know that you could rent them? Seriously, you can rent the gardener's house, which is in the middle of the Sandringham. You can rent that. And pets are allowed. I mean, it's shocking. The next time I ever come to the UK, if I do, I'm going to rent something on the Sandringham estate. And with that being said, let me just say, for those of you that are in the UK, you have my deepest and heartfelt sympathy and condolences on what happened on the train. I think it's horrible. I think the fact that the UK refuses to call it a terror attack, and they're telling people not to speculate when your own people, like 10 of your own people, I think it was, are laying dead, stabbed to death. Like, the UK isn't going to take action until people go, it's dangerous. I'm not spending my tourism dollars there. I loved the UK when I was there. I love seeing Westminster Abbey. I love seeing Buckingham Palace. I love seeing Piccadilly. I love seeing Windsor Castle. There's still a lot we didn't get to see, and we had talked about going back again. The current state of the UK, I would not spend my tourism dollars there. It's dangerous. It's absolutely dangerous for tourists. It's dangerous for the people living there. I certainly won't spend my money there. I never got to see Anne Boleyn's residence I wanted to see. There's a lot I wanted to see, but I did. You know, you only have so much time. But I wouldn't want to be walking down the street and suddenly some crazy person pulls out a knife and stabs me. That's one of the things about the UK. I have to say, I mean, one of the things about the United States, I have to say, I live in a stand your ground state. So if somebody came after me, you're on my property, you're in my house, I have the right to shoot you dead. And we also have concealed to carry. So I could carry a weapon legally on me. And this is how a lot of crimes have been averted, where people go in to rob somebody and somebody in there has a concealed weapon and they pull it and they kill the robber. So who's armed and threatening people. And the UK they need to grab a hold of this mess. But you have my utmost sympathy. And I do think they will come to their senses when their tourism dollars are hit, when the money is hit. You know what I'm saying? When it begins to affect their bottom line. I think it's terrible. Why are they on the train with knives then? Yeah. And I saw somebody wrote something on Twitter. I don't know who it was. Might have been Dan Wooten. I'm not sure. But I was very impressed when I was in the UK. My husband and I had to take the tubes, the subway. And I was very impressed at how clean it was. And I was like, my husband and I were looking at each other going, wow, because when we were in Manhattan taking the trains around, when we were in Midtown, it was nasty, smelly, dirty. The trains were dirty. It was like, ugh. Somebody put up a picture. I think it was Dan Wooten, but don't quote me on that. And there was graffiti all over I'm like, those beautiful trains that I was on now look like crap. If you can't see what's going on in your own country, if you can't go to a country and we need this to happen here, we need our laws enforced here. If you left your country and now you don't like the country you're in and the laws back in your home country were so good, you need to go back where you came from. If you cannot assimilate into the country that has taken you in, then you shouldn't be there. That's all I'm going to say. When I think it was my great-grandparents or my grandparents came into the United States, they learned English, they became citizens, and they upheld the laws of the United States, as it should be. And they came in legally through Ellis Island. My grandfather, Benjamin, was known as Baby Benzie. So it was my great-grandparents who came in with him. So all I can say is, if you're going to go to another country, you need to assimilate into that country. And if you don't want to assimilate, or you think that, this is free time to damage the country and kill people, they should go. Assimilate or get out. We're not saying you have to give up your own heritage. Like, there are lots of people in the United States that come from Mexico. But they assimilate, they keep their Spanish, but they learn English. They get jobs, Social Security numbers, they pay their taxes, they pledge to the United States of America, but they still speak Spanish at home. We're not saying get rid of your heritage, but you need to assimilate into the country that took you in. And if you can't, get out. My goodness gracious. I feel bad. I feel really bad for the UK people because I feel like they're not being protected at all. I feel like until something really bad happens, nothing's going to change. And I hate to say this, but I don't feel like the knife attack is the straw that broke the camel's back. I see in the news constantly all the certain kinds of assault that you can't say on YouTube going on in the UK, and they won't deport the people because when people back home find out what they did, they might be in trouble. What? Yeah. No. It's terrible. The whole thing is terrible. All right, let's get back to the whole Harry Meghan thing. An article came out, you guys, that said that Harry has kept in touch with his father since their meeting, and he completely agrees with what the king did, removing Andrew's titles. He has stayed in touch, and he believes that Andrew has hurt the monarchy, and this should happen to him. And I'm going, Really? So your constant attacks on the monarchy haven't hurt the monarchy? Your constant moaning and groaning and all the stuff that you've done haven't damaged the monarchy? Word out is that William wanted Harry and Meghan's titles to go as okay. Here's what word out is. Do you remember when the Danish queen removed all of the titles from everybody? Like the second son got really upset because he, his wife, their children, everybody lost their titles. Everybody lost their titles because only the people in the line of succession had the titles. And that made it simple. That's what needs to happen in the UK. If Charles is smart, he will do it before he leaves the reign to William so that William will not be, his reign won't be tainted. You know what I'm saying? That means Princess Eugenie's title goes. That means Princess Beatrice's title goes. That means Harry and Meghan's title go. That means Lily and Archie's titles go. That means that Lady Louise and the Viscount do not, they don't get the choice anymore to become prince or princess. It's gone. You can be known as the Lady Louise or the Viscount, like they are known. Zara's didn't have a title. Peter Phillips doesn't have a title. They're perfectly fine. I do believe that they should all be taken at once, like the Danish queen did, letters patent. Only the people in direct line to the throne should have those titles. Now, of course, Harry and Meghan are going to go, they're doing this because of Archie and Lily, and they're not dark enough, or whatever they're going to say. You really can't use that argument when Eugenie and Beatrice lose theirs as well. And it's in line with what just happened with the Danish people. It's directly in line. So, sorry, apparently I gave the wrong thing. He's not Viscount. Now he's the Earl of Wessex. Okay, so he can be an Earl. Let him be an Earl. He's the Earl of Wessex. And Louise is Lady Louise. Fabulous. Beatrice and Eugenie can be Lady Eugenie and Lady Beatrice. Whatever. But nobody should have prince and princess titles and HRHs unless you are in direct line to the throne. Now, interesting. Maggie says, I have a feeling that she was doing it as a suggestion. Yes. I believe so also. I think you're absolutely right. And of course, we know the Norwegian royals, something's definitely going on with that. Because we've already discussed that ad nauseum. The Martha Louise, who married the HIV positive bisexual shaman, and they also have created all kinds of problems. And then the Netflix documentary came out where they did the exact same thing Harry and Meghan did, and they attacked the royal family, and the royal family came back. 87% of the Norwegian people want her stripped of her princess title. The two of them have come out with a statement. He said, that's not what I meant. That's not it. But guess what? They haven't said a peep since then. You are royal when the people allow you to be royal. And 80-something% of people in the Norwegian royal house want her stripped. How much you want to bet she's going to get stripped? As she should, in my opinion. Let's see what else. A lot of people saying, I never liked Beatrice and Eugenie, and Harry and Meghan. Oh, absolutely. And they're saying that people are nervous. Now, here's the other thing that you guys may not have known. That's in tomorrow's video. I'm not giving you everything that's in the video, so you're still going to want to watch the video. I thought when Harry met Magic Johnson at the baseball game, that was the first time they met, but that's not true. Because Magic Johnson, I believe, is HIV positive and has been for a long time, like 30 years at least, right? Like a long time. He and that, I hope I say her name right. I can never say it. Charlize Theron, the blonde, really blonde, gorgeous blonde actress. They did a video asking for funding for HIV, and Harry's in the video. I'm like, why? What does he know? Nothing. He's not a scientist. He doesn't know spit. And he's no longer affiliated with Sentebale, which, by the way, is doing very well without him, but he still wants to have his foot in there somewhere. So now he's in the video with Magic Johnson and that Charlize woman. You'll see a little clip of that tomorrow also. It's another very long video, you guys. Now, let's talk really quickly about YouTube. Let me get to my other screen here. YouTube, of course, I get tired of talking about it, you guys, but they're totally messing with my channel. I want you to know that at the beginning of October, my videos were getting 43,000 views, 34,000 views. Then it dropped to 25, 25, 24, 24. And at the end of the month, I was actually getting 14,000 views. They are no longer putting my videos out. They're no longer disseminating my videos. And just for you guys, the hype button, I'm well aware that the button disappeared. I complained, the button came back, and now people are writing to me, it's disappeared again. You guys can only hype 3 times a week is my understanding. And once you've hyped 3 times, it's over. But I don't believe the fact that you're not hyping is what's causing my videos to have so few views. I believe that that's YouTube. Also, I'm keeping this up for you guys. I'm actually writing these numbers down for you guys. I start at the beginning of the month with this number. It goes up to here, comes down to here, goes back up to here, comes down to here. And at the end of the month, I end up literally with the exact same number I started at the beginning of the month with, which is not statistically possible. And that means that my account is being limited by YouTube. Yeah, here you go. Wait a minute, let me find that. Yeah, now I have to search for your channel. I'm getting emails from people saying they have to get out, get back in. They have to do this. They have to do that. They never get notifications, even though they're for notifications. I told you guys before that according to YouTube, that's because you guys aren't smart enough to figure out how to turn on notifications. That's what they said. Where's the other? Here's one person who wrote to me and said, I had to close your video, go to your big page, and strike on the video to leave a message. YouTube isn't letting her leave messages. Yeah. I'm getting lots of messages like that from people saying that they're having a horrible time finding my videos. And other people. Now, Jane, if your like button's not working, here's my suggestion. Log out and log back in and see if that fixes the problem. But yeah, you've learned the tricks. There are tricks to getting to my videos. And the funny thing is, I had another YouTuber tell me just the other day that there's a channel that she didn't want to see and she hid the channel, meaning don't show me notifications for this channel anymore. And 2 days later, the channel was recommended to her. And she was like, wait a minute, why am I being recommended? I hid this channel. So she hid the channel again. And 2 days later, the channel popped up again in her recommended. So they work fine on other channels. Yeah, just not on mine. Very hard to leave a comment. Exactly. Some people have a lot of trouble. I can't hit the like on Sue's live. I have to wait till it's over. There you go. I was spammed. I had to log off and log back in. Yeah. You guys write to me and I just want you to know that there's absolutely nothing I can do about that. There's nothing I can do. I'm so sorry. But yeah. Oh, I keep getting sugar channels. I bet. Oh, is Revealing here somewhere? Hey, Revealing. Hi. I get crap I wouldn't want to watch. So yes, I am well aware that you're not getting your notifications. I'm well aware that you're having to search for my channel. I am well aware that you're hiding other channels and you're still getting notifications. That's called suppression by YouTube. YouTube is also, yes, this is interesting. YouTube has also changed some users' names without their permission. They just logged on and their names were different. How freaking weird is that? Just crazy, crazy. All right. So we've talked about Harry. We have the AIDS video. And we've talked about the trick-or-treating and why I'm having issues with the pictures from trick-or-treating. You just have to be careful when you use the photos, because the last thing you need is to what do you call it? You don't want to get a copyright strike. The PRO reported months ago YouTube was changing and you need to do lives and views are counted if you watch until the end. See, that makes no sense. So people get on my videos, but if they don't watch until the end, they don't count. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. That's crazy. I agree. I absolutely agree. Oh, and to the people that are claiming that I'm buying bots, if I was going to buy bots, I would have hit 100,000 by now. Just saying. Why no trick-or-treating? Yes, that is exactly what went on. Megan, you're going to see it tomorrow. Megan had a glass. Harry was walking around with a whole bottle of alcohol in his left hand. I don't know if he was drinking from that alcohol or if he was pouring it into her glass. He looked totally bored, totally disinterested. I mean, I just think it's terrible that he goes on this interview and tells people and gives warnings to people, don't put your kids on social media, don't put your kids on social media. And then the next day, Megan's putting their kids on social media, front and back. I mean, come on. It's crazy. Oh, what is she saying? Start doing 5 15-minute live videos. Unfortunately, I can't do that. Some people, I think that's what Steph does, isn't it? Steph, the alternate. She'll do like 3 or 4 lives a day about different topics. But you're stuck in your house for that. And I have a life. I got to get out. I don't stay in my house all day. Let's see. Yes, the pictures were dial-a-pop. Carl Lawson, I'm telling you. How did he suddenly get there? He's the one who took the pictures of Harry again outside of the, when he was getting the Legends of Aviation Award. He's the one who took those pictures of them at Polo. He's the one who took pictures of them in that parking lot. But if anybody uses those pictures, you get a copyright strike. Like, I think maybe that's why they called them. And that's true, because there were 3 children in that shot, not 2. So then they turned around and put somebody else's kid on there. Absolutely true. That is true. They don't trick or treat with their kids, as they would first have to have custody. I don't think the kids are theirs. Guys, I'm telling you, I think that before Charles goes, he should do what the Danish, don't you guys agree? Don't you seriously think that that's what she should? Charles should not. Yes, he is the same one. Charles should not leave that to William, so that William's reign starts off with all of this controversy. Don't you think that he should do a letters patent, just like the Queen, the Danish Queen did, and remove all titles from everybody? HRH, Prince and Princess. So everybody, Lily and Archie will be Lily and Archie Mountbatten Windsor. They're not Prince or Princess, and they don't have HRH. He can still be what does he have? The Earl of Dumbarton. He can still be the Earl of Dumbarton. There you go. You're the Earl of Dumbarton. Enjoy that. And Harry and Meghan, and Harry should lose his prince title, and they should lose the dukedom. And you are now Harry and Meghan Mountbatten Windsor. You wanted out. You're out. How many times have I said that? Yup, we do. How many times have I said that? That he's complained about the the royal family. He's complaining that they're racist. He complains that they're doing things illegally. He complains about this. He complains about that. Every time they open their mouths, it's to complain. These are the two most ungrateful people. Yeah, Harry with his just call me Harry. These are the two most ungrateful people on the planet that I've ever seen. Every time they talk, oh my God, somebody else just said that. It's going by too fast. Every time they talk about mental health, I want to yell out, hey, Megan, mental health, how's your dad? How's your dad doing, Megan? How's his mental health, Megan? Or does he not count anymore? Like, seriously. Hey, Harry, how's the mental health of your family after you said such crappy things about them? Like, it's like, oh my God. Oh my God. The fact that those titles are in the center of every negotiation they do. Those titles, you may not want to admit it, but it's true. Those titles are at the middle of every negotiation of everything that they do. It's because we're the Duke and Duchess, Prince Harry, the Duke and Duchess, Prince Harry. Okay, remove the dukedom and remove his prince title. And just say, we're removing all of these titles from everybody. You don't have a prince or princess title, and you don't have an HRH unless you were in the direct line of succession. Harry, you're not in the direct line of succession. You are no longer a prince. You no longer have an HRH. We're not putting it in abeyance. We're stripping it. I mean, because let's face it, Meghan's using hers anyway. Is she not? We've seen it. But they said, well, she's just using it on private correspondence. You're not supposed to be using it at all. And she knows that. All of her talk, I've told you guys before, all of her talk about it's the grandeur and the titles, and I'm not really attached to that. My most important title I know is mom. Well, great. Then you have no problem giving them up. Walk away. I mean, my God, this woman is 40 something years old, and she has been out of the royal family almost 3 times longer. It's coming up on being 3 times longer than she was in. And still all she does is bitch about those 2 years she was in. I've just never seen the like of it. It's like she had no life before Harry. It's crazy. And now with her trying to sell her candle, and it's all about the wonderful wedding. If you guys watched my video, either yesterday or the day before, where she's talking about the wonderful wedding, where we were surrounded by love and laughter. And I'm like, love and laughter? Love and laughter? You said the cathedral stunk. You tried to put diffusers in it. You complained about the tiara. You tried to steal Eugenie's tiara. You bullied Charlotte. Never before or since in a royal wedding have some children gone down the aisle one way and come back up separately, because they had to be separated from Jessica's children, who it was reported bullied Charlotte. So the children had to be separated. William and Catherine's nanny was behind the screen, and she grabbed Charlotte and George and kept them separated until it was time to come back down the aisle. But your wedding was fabulous. The Queen didn't like it. We saw the nasty look on the Queen's face as you were sitting there. I mean, that wedding was a joke. Literally. There was no family there from the white or the black side except your mom. Instead, you brought A-listers in, most of which now aren't talking to you, like the Clooneys, who you used. They got the measure of her really quick and dumped her off. Shocking. Even her cast from Suits that she said was so like her, and they were like family, didn't go to the evening party. Elton John was at the evening party. Oprah was at the evening party, but her good friends had to go party somewhere else after the wedding. Could you imagine? Just like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of. I mean, it's like, when do people stop and go, oh my God, it's enough already. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. Oh my God. Oh, all right, guys. So tomorrow's video is almost 20 minutes long. We have a lot in there. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. She said it was the spectacle for the world. That's right. And her dress, by the way, did not fit her well at all. It was terrible. And I remember thinking, when she said from her wedding, I remember thinking, which one? The one she had annulled? The one with Trevor? The one that was in the backyard or the one that was in the cathedral? Which wedding? Mm-hmm. Let me tell you. Oh, she's crazy. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Never apologize for long videos. You know what? I just feel like after a certain amount of time, people's minds switch off. You know what I mean? There's only a certain amount you can listen to at a time. I used to put out videos that were 8 minutes long, 10 minutes long, and then they started getting more and more involved, and now they're averaging 18 to 20 minutes. And I'm trying not to do that to you, but that's what's happening. So, William is the regent king now. I think he's going to wait until after Earthshot, and then he's going to strip the titles. That could be it. That could be it. Our love story. I doubt most people on here remember that story, but I like it too. I think it's interesting. You just don't hear stuff like that anymore, do you? I'm telling you. I doubt most people remember though this story. Does anybody else remember the story? Or is it just that person? Let's see. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, no, people are talking about the Regency. No one liked it. No one liked what? Uh-oh. I remember. Okay, what is the love story? Okay. Cliff Notes version. Here's the Cliff Notes version. My husband came to the United States. He didn't speak English. He knew how to say yes, no, hello, and goodbye. And that was it. That was all he knew. He goes on Yahoo. That was back when you had not Yahoo, AOL, back when you had dial up. And then do you guys remember that movie, You've Got Mail, from 20 something years ago? It literally was just like that. I get an email in horrible English. I'm looking for somebody to help me with my English. So back then you could create your own chat room. So I created a chat room. He would come in 3 nights a week and he would write something and I'd write back, no, this is how you say it. And we did this for 3 months and I tutored him in English. And this is back when I was, as single, I was working 12-hour shifts in the ER. And there was one night where I said, listen, I'm really tired. I don't want to do this. And he said, well, how do you let me take you to dinner for saying thank you? And I went, wow. I'm single, poor. It's a free steak. I'll go. But if I don't like him, whatever. And we had never exchanged pictures of what we look like. And I sent him a picture of myself. And he wrote back and said, thank you, Carol. He wrote back and said, is that really you? And I said, yeah. Because you're really single? Yeah. And you're really 6'2"? Yeah. I'll be there in an hour. He picked me up an hour later for dinner. And I remember opening the door and going, oh, this is going to be bad. Because he was tall, blonde. Of course, this is quite some time ago. Broad shoulders, slim little waist. He was, oh my God, he was typical Nordic buff German guy with an accent. I know Arnold Schwarzenegger is not from Germany, but that's the best I can do for accent. He had this sexy accent. We went to dinner. He was the nicest guy. We were engaged 8 months after we met. We got married 11 months after that. And our first son was born the month after our 1-year anniversary. We got busy. It was an interesting way to meet. And that was back before they had online dating. They didn't, the internet was brand new. So Regent is wait, where's the one I just saw? Wait a minute. My soulmate hasn't been born yet. Did you guys ever watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original one? You guys remember that? Willy Wonka? Well, the girl that played Veruca, what was her name? She was the mean girl. I want it now. Give it to me now. They did an interview with her later, and she married a much younger man. And she said he was born on the day that we filmed that scene where I was skipping down the stairs. She goes, if I had known my husband was being born on that day, I'd have skipped down those stairs a little faster. What was it? Veruca, I think was her name. I think. Oh, yeah, I think he's lucky to have me too. A good marriage is a lot of work. And there's a lot of forgiveness involved when they do stupid things. Now, don't get me wrong. If he had done something stupid like cheat on me, first time, out the door. That's like one of those unforgivable things for me. Has he said and done some stupid things through the years? Yeah. Have I? Probably. And you really have to learn to forgive things. You don't forget them. I don't forget them. I can still remember some of the really crappy stuff that he's done, but you can't bring it up again. You have to learn to kind of like put it away. It seems nowadays people just abandon marriage so easily. It's a commitment and you have to stick with it, and it's hard. And yeah, it's a lot of work. It really is. But when I took my vows, for good or for bad, for better, for poorer, I meant it. So forgiveness, tolerance, patient trust. That's true, but it's a lot of work. Don't get mad. You know what used to get me? I used to have these kids, I call them kids, in the emergency room that used to come in. Hey, Trevor Colt's here, guys. I used to have people these girls would come into the emergency room. They'd be 17 years old, 18, they're pregnant. And they're like, oh, I'm going to have a baby. And I'm like, are you getting married? And she'd be like, I'm not old enough for marriage. And I'm like, wait a minute. You can dissolve a marriage. You can't dissolve a baby. So if you're old enough to have a baby with this person, why aren't you old enough to marry this person? Like, I mean, the thought process of people somehow is a little screwy. So yeah, here we go. They don't come out of the box perfect. There's a lot of assembly required. That is true. Sometimes you have to make your perfect person. That is true, believe it or not. 37 years. That's fabulous. We are going to be married 27 years next year. And we've been together for 2 years before that. So we'll have been together 29 years. You know what? I had like 28 of my 30 years were in the ER, and I thought about writing a book, but you got to be careful because you could get into trouble for HIPAA. So I thought about that. I thought people would buy it, but I don't want to do it. Oh, Trevor is an Irish rover. Interesting. That's fabulous. All right, guys, do you have any specific questions before we go? Anything? Oh, Nancy said she's been married 31 years. That's fabulous. 35. I got married really late. I didn't want to get married. I had no intention of ever getting married or having children. Now, when I watched my parents who were miserable together, and I said, yeah, that's not going to be for me. That's a no. Does anybody have any specific questions about Harry and Meghan and the titles or any of that stuff before we end this? And then don't forget, you're going to want to look at my video tomorrow. When was the last time a regency was put into place in the British monarchy? Well, Lizzie, I have a question right back at you. If they had a regency, would they have announced it? Does that make sense? Doesn't the regency go into place every time King Charles leaves the UK for an overseas something or another? You get what I'm saying? If when Charles is like in Rome, if something went on in the UK, would the regency take over? Or are they in place while Charles is out of the UK? So I don't know the last time a regency was put into place officially, because I feel like they're already in place every time he leaves the UK. Do you think Charles will take care of things for Prince William's sake? That's a good question. I would hope. I think Charles wants peace and quiet for the rest of his reign. I wish he would have done Harry and Meghan at the same time. And they are saying that Andrew will never be called as a counselor of state, and neither will Harry. But it would probably just be tidier if they went ahead and removed them. So I wish that they would remove them. What is written on your wrist? Those are my children's Hebrew names on my wrist. Oldest, youngest. This one means blessed one, and this one means God's mercy. I'm staying single if things happen. I want quiet time. When will it be done for Harry and Meghan? Okay. I'm giving you my prediction. This is my prediction. My prediction is that King Charles is not going to do anything else in his reign. I think William is going to have his coronation. I do not believe Harry will be invited to the coronation. I don't think Meghan will be invited to the coronation. Andrew will not be invited to the coronation. I feel like right after the coronation, within like a week or two, William is going to put out a notification that he is slimming down the monarchy, which is something he's always talked about doing. And titles going forward will only go to people in the direct line of succession. Therefore, the prince and princess titles are being removed from Eugenie, Beatrice, and the HRHs. Beatrice, Eugenie, Harry, Lily, Archie. Nobody has an HRH. Nobody has a prince and princess title. I don't know that they'll remove the dukedom. They might leave Harry and Meghan with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and their son is the Earl of Dumbarton. But the princess titles and the HRHs are going to go. It's the slim down monarchy. It's easier to keep track of if you don't have all these people running around with all these titles. You know what I mean? It's easier. It's tidier. That's what I think. And by doing it that way, when Harry and Meghan start crying victim again, they're just doing this because they're upset. They're just doing blah, blah, blah. They're just, oh, really? Then why did Beatrice and Eugenie have their titles removed? They're no longer HRH. They're no longer princesses. You know what I mean? You can't cry foul when it's being done to everybody. Now, will they leave the prince and princess titles on Anne and Edward? Yes, they are the children of the sovereign. But their children, Zara and Peter Phillips, don't have titles. Edward's children don't have titles. And I feel like Anne's children, I feel like the only children that should have those titles beyond the children of the sovereign are the people that are in the direct line of succession. So Louis, Charlotte, and George will retain their prince and princess titles. And everybody else, the only other people, because Edward and Sophie said they didn't want those titles for their children. And Anne said she didn't want those children to their children, for their children. So the only people really are Harry and Meghan, their children, and Beatrice and Eugenie. So something's going to happen. I don't think that Charles is going to have the kahunas to do anything else during his reign. I think he feels like his entire reign has been eclipsed by Andrew and everything about Andrew, but also the attacks from Harry and Meghan. So if he wanted to if he wanted to clear things up before he leaves, I would say the prince and princess and the HRHs can be removed from a letters patent. You don't need Parliament for that. I would hope that Charles would take things in hand and take care of those things before he passes away and leaves it to William. And that way, William will have no controversy during his reign, which will be a long one because he's a relatively young man. There will be no controversy. Nothing. There'll be nothing. Beatrice and Eugenie might be asked. You can ask them, but they're not going to. And Andrew had his titles removed. I think they will remove Harry's. I agree. And I also feel like, yes, it would give King Charles a good legacy. I feel like the royal family is constantly under attack between Andrew and Harry and Meghan. It's just, you would think that Harry and Meghan would realize at this point that maybe they need to shut up. You know, that something ugly is coming down the line, that maybe they should stop. Are they going to stop? Nope. And Ingrid Seward, yes. Is she the one? No, I don't think it was Ingrid Seward. Somebody else just did an article, and we're talking about it tomorrow, that's saying that they have not gotten Sarah to sign an NDA, and that's a mistake because she knows where all the bodies are buried. She was friends with Diana. But I got to be honest, do I think anybody would buy a book from Sarah at this point? No. She's already been proven to be a liar. She said that she cut off all, contact with Epstein, and she didn't. Andrew said the same thing, and she didn't. And I feel like any book she writes would be a flop. And by the way, I'm going to say one more thing. Virginia Giuffre's brother, I think it's the brother, and his wife are really starting to piss me off. They wanted Andrew thrown out of his house. He's been thrown out of his house. They wanted Andrew to lose his prince title after the Duke of York title. Then they were on TV demanding his prince title. Okay, they've taken the prince title. Now they're on TV demanding something else. They're never going to stop. But here's my thing. In Virginia Giuffre's book, she claims that her father and some of his friends assaulted her and abused her. And I haven't heard the brother and his wife say one freaking word about that. Why don't you talk about your dad and stop and get the hell off of this? You know what I'm saying? They just keep going on TV, talking about Andrew. It's over. They're done with Andrew. How many other people are on that list? Where is the list? More is going to come out. And I think that's one of the reasons why they took this action. They wanted to get Andrew out of the line of fire before anything else came out. I'm so sick of hearing that family on TV. They have their own problems. And by the way, if you saw my video the other day, Virginia Giuffre's husband has popped up. People are asking where the money is. The millions upon millions that were given to her. Where's the money? Nobody knows where the money is. It's still part of her estate somehow. And the young lady who was suing Virginia Giuffre, she was suing her for recruiting her into the lifestyle. She has come out and said she is continuing her lawsuit as soon as the estate is established. She's going to continue on. So we're not done hearing about Virginia and her book and the family. We're not done. We're not done. It's just going to continue. I agree. Follow the money. But it really bothers me. Yes. Don't forget Royal Daily Tea is having her thing. But it really bothers me that the family keeps going on TV, going on and on about Andrew, and they have not said one word about their own family member that supposedly, if everything she wrote in that book is true, then her father is some sort of a perv. And why hasn't he been charged? And why aren't they talking about him? I'm telling you. So I don't, they're going to be looking for that money. Where'd the money go? They'll be looking for the money. All right, guys. So you don't want to miss my video tomorrow. Just remember what I said. If you don't get a notification, just go to my channel every morning. You know that Monday through Saturday, there's going to be a video. Just go there and you can watch it there. And also, please don't forget to subscribe and check your subscriptions, because I keep getting notifications from people that YouTube is unsubscribing them. One person told me they've had to resubscribe 6 times. YouTube keeps taking them off. They keep coming back. YouTube takes them off. They come back. YouTube takes them off again. You're going to have to subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications. And then you're going to have to go back every now and then and double check to make sure you're still subscribed. That's what it is. Okay, guys, so keep your eye out for tomorrow's video, because you're not going to want to miss this. And don't forget that Royal Daily Tea's video is coming up after this. Okay? Oh, I think she's coming up in a little bit. She has a live stream today, but Carol, could you put the link up again, please? I'm glad you have your coffee. You know how much I love my coffee. Love my coffee. Here we go. There's the link. I think I'm not sure of the time, and it's not on there. So I think 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock, something like that. So, but you don't want to miss it. So you're going to want to go there. Okay, guys? So have a fabulous day. If your weather is anything like mine, get out in that sun and enjoy yourselves. And we will see you guys tomorrow on YouTube. Have a great day.